Ontarians have paid a high price this year. The pandemic has brought crisis-level financial stress to many households and small businesses. So the last thing they should have to worry about is flooding and damage to their properties. The Ontario Federation of Agriculture is asking for substantive amendments to Schedule 6 of Bill 229. Over 150 organizations, including AMO and the Ontario Big City Mayors, representing people in every corner of this province, are asking the government to remove Schedule 6 from Bill 229. Speaker, we know that flooding is only going to get worse, especially since the government's so-called environment plan is leading to a dramatic increase in climate pollution. So will the Premier listen to the people of Ontario and remove Schedule 6 from Bill 229?
The Parliamentary Assistant Member for Barrie Innes.
Thank you, Speaker. And you know, my heart does go out to the farmers, and certainly the flooding that they had to experience, especially with the impacts of climate change, which is the exact reason this government is making our changes on flood mitigation. And frankly, it will help our conservation authorities treat flooding very seriously to help those very same farmers you're discussing. If only those conservation authorities spent or right now they spend less than 20% of their budget on flooding. So if they spent a little more on flooding, perhaps that would help. But Speaker, to put in context, in 2017 there was 25 conservation authorities that were spending less than 20% of their budget on flood mitigation. In fact, 10 of those 25 conservation authorities were spending even less than that. They were spending closer to 10%. So these changes are going to help conservation authorities, help those farmers who are so in need of flood mitigation. Thank you.
And supplementary.
Speaker, with all due respect to the member opposite, the conservation authorities, the big city mayors, AMO, literally organizations representing everybody in this province, are asking the government to stop attacking conservation authorities. We know that it costs $43,000 to repair a flooded basement. In my riding, I pay $2.80 to the Conservation Authority to protect me from flooding. That is a deal. That is a deal that this government is taking away because they're completely undermining the science-based and evidence-based decision-making power of conservation authorities. So I'm asking the government, at a time when people already have so much stress in their lives, why are they increasing it by gutting flood protection in this province?
Member for Barrie Innes.
Thank you, Speaker, and nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, it's these changes that are not going to be gutting flooding. It's going to actually be increasing flood mitigation. And in fact, in our plan, we talk about ways to work with different sectors to prevent flood mitigation. And I'll read some quotes from people who are trying to. There's an individual who was trying to plant trees around their home, Speaker. And I know the member opposite would appreciate that. But guess what? They couldn't do. They couldn't actually do that because the Conservation Authority was getting in the way. There's a municipality in my backyard who couldn't build a drainage pipe to prevent flooding because the Conservation Authority wouldn't allow them the proper permit to prevent flooding. So these are the changes we're making to help mitigate those things. And we're getting terrific support. Actually, the Ontario Farmers Network supported our changes, and they said the Ontario Farmers Network, a farmer advocate organization that was established in 2002, announced today its formal support for the changes to the Conservation Authorities Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Next question, the member for Sarnia.